I'm working on a 19 F150, and it's got a 5-liter Coyote motor in it, and it's got one single code in the computer, P0390, and it's the oil control solenoid for the exhaust cam phaser, and there's no diagnostics. If that code's in the computer, that simply means remove the valve cover, remove the solenoid, put a new solenoid in. That's it. That's what Ford wants you to do to fix it. So that's what we're going to do. So I pulled the earbox off the vehicle. I took all the vacuum connections and stuff that go to the earbox. I pulled all that stuff off. I pulled the wiring harness and stuff back off the top of this valve cover. And these were the connections that go to the earbox. Be very careful because this stuff can be very brittle and you can break it. So now I've got the wiring harness kind of just laying off over here to the side. I unplugged the injector rail, unplugged the cam sensors in the back, unplugged the 2 solenoids in the front. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these coils out of here, and then I'm going to go around and take the 10 mil bolts around the outside of the valve cover and then pull the valve cover off. So that's what you'll see next. So I twisted and pulled this oil dipstick channel out of the valve cover before I pulled the valve cover off. You can see it's off right now. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to clean up all the way around the perimeter of this. You're going to scrape these old gasket pieces off on the corners here, in the back, and then when you go back together where this front cover goes together in the front of this motor, you are going to actually scrape all that stuff off and not let it go down into the engine, and then put a new dab of silicone on each corner where it splits right there to the front cover, and then you'll seal everything back up that way. But you got to clean it off real good. Well, I've got everything cleaned all the way around, and I pulled my solenoid out and my new one is going in. And you can see that this solenoid is indexed with a screw the way it's supposed to go. Or with a screw goes in right there. And when you zip it back down, replace all your seals and stuff. Well, if it's out of warranty, you can do what you want. A lot of guys will reuse these seals because they do seal real nice. But under warranty, I'm going to replace all these seals. Well, not these seals actually. These seal good. It's these up here that I'm worried about. These VCT seals for the intake and the exhaust. So I'm going to replace these 2 up here, and then put everything back together, the valve cover and everything back on. A dab of silicone at both of the corners, there and there, and then put everything back together and zip it all down, and then clear codes and run it. So I've got my valve cover on my bench right here, and I took these 2 seals out, and you can see what I did. It was I used a little fine, small screwdriver, and I stuck next to the seal on the outside. And then I just used a little pressure against the plastic. I've done this so many times, I know what to do, but some people I've seen break this because they push too hard and they're not patient. They actually make a driver tool to drive these in and drive these out. But I've done it so much, I don't need that tool to do it. Just be very careful. You'll find like a socket to put over it or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to install these 2 new seals, and then we're going to put everything back together. So these I was able to get out nice and easy, and I actually just pushed them in by hand until they were just below the lip right there. Both of them. They actually gave me the wrong part number to begin with. Both those seals are BR3Z 6 Charlie 535A. The other seal that I showed out here, the other big one, is for the Mustang. The 5.0 has the same holes. The Mustang has one small, one big. Anyway, let's put this thing back together and start it up. We're going to put a little dab of TA30. I forgot to show you about that. There. And then right down here. Okay, everything's back together.